Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is day number 248 of 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. And we have our Mother's Day specials, Mother's Day, a service hero, one of my teammates from the Next Impactor and Team Todd. It's Brooke Curran. And let me brag about Brooke for a moment before I bring her in to visit with her, because there's a lot of bragging I can do. Since I've gotten to know this woman, I am ever so impressed, and I continue to become that much more impressed. She's got skills, guys, major league skills, and she's got a heart. She is an inspiration, and when we start talking about her story, you guys are going to be floored. You really will. So, and I can't give much more away. So, welcome. Welcome, Brooke.
Oh, thank you, Tamara. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Oh, well, it's the honor is all mine. I'm just going to be talking and checking one thing as we start this, just to make sure everything is good. Yes, we're good. All right. We are on Team Todd in the Next Impactor, and let's just throw that to the wind right now and talk about that. What introduced you? Who introduced you? What got you going and interested in the Next Impactor?
Well, I happen to be in the business networking group here in Chicago, led by Jeff Levine, the producer of the Next Impactor. And he was encouraging everyone to get into the competition. And I was like, me? Really? Me?
You?
Me? And he's like, yeah, and you could win this thing. I was like, yeah, you tell that to everybody. But he was like, no, seriously, as business people and as an artist, you are an impactor. So think about it and, enter it if, it so calls you. And so, I thought about it, and for a while, I was like, yeah, this kind of sounds like fun. And, I was kind of like, well, but I hesitated because, frankly, I've always kind of been behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So I was like, do I really, want to do this? But then I felt called. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, you've been waiting for this moment your whole entire life. Mm-hmm. You've done a lot of work to impact people in their lives, whether it's been an artist, a graphic designer, a mother, or a light worker. And you've waited for this whole entire moment your whole entire life. And if you want to help a lot of people, this is how you can do it. And so then I was like, cool. And Lauren was Lauren sweetened the deal too. He's so charming and inspiring. And it's just like, do it. This is the time. So here we are.
Well, you got, the two creators, them because they're in your backyard, right?
Yeah. Lauren's right here in the Chicago. They're both here in the Chicagoland area. So, yeah, I went to Lauren's workshop, and he was just so inspiring. I was just like, wow, this is an incredible man, and this is an incredible program, and it's like this is something everyone should be a part of because it's the energy is really cool. So yeah.
It is. I absolutely agree. And usually I get their pictures, but I thought, this time I'm going to do a little something different because you're a graphic person, and in honor of that, I thought I'll show logos and such, because you've got the co-op, right? The co-op is Jeff Levine, and then you have POW, or the Power of We, which they just had the Power of We big event this weekend on Friday. And in Atlanta, right? And there were some amazing people that went to that. Some of our good friends from the top 50 of the Next Impactor were there on the stage, and then of course they were just rocking. And some of the coaches were there too. So how cool is that? So, okay, so let's talk about, we kind of talked how you and I met, because here I'm in Southern California and I have a nonprofit, and you're in the Chicagoland area, you're a graphic designer. However, you also have a cause and a purpose that's really, really important to you. And that's kind of what you're running with. right in
Yes.
the next impactor is that is what you're looking to impact with, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. I can kind of tell you how that all came about. So,
Yeah, I love it.
well, the thing is, I've been helping people since I've been a kid. I've been in Girl Scouts. When I went to college, I was in the volunteer programs there. I've always been helping people. So it's always been a part of who I am, whether I've acknowledged it or not. And I become a mom, and so it's a whole nother focus. But I got this kind of strange, the calling, the vibe, the whoa moment.
Okay. Now she does sing, guys. Okay, so if I did that, it would be off key, and people would be like running. But that was good. Okay, so you got the aha moment.
So, well, it was kind of like, I finally knew what Moses felt when God asked him to build the ark. I was just like, really? Me? Me? Oh, he goes, yep. Yeah. So I was sitting in my outreach committee at church, and we were meeting with the night ministry, the homeless shelter, and they were running off statistics of how many homeless youth there are in the Chicago public school system. And as a mom, my stomach just went, ugh. I was just like, every cell of my body screamed, this is unreal. Why do we treat our kids this way? How can we have a future if we're not taking care of our children? Right. So it's for growing up, to me, I felt it was really important to have role models and the programs in place to give our kids direction and guidance and hope. Because it's a tough time going through those years, the middle school years and junior high and high school too. So I felt like, here we are. This is, I felt that pat on the shoulder, like, this is something you can create awareness for, use your graphic design skills, use everything you've ever learned to really make an impact. Because I felt this longing to have a really impact in my community. So you've always been behind the scenes, but now it's the time to come out, create that legacy for your son and everyone to follow. Ideally, I'd love to create an agency where people can come to, like, if there's a problem in the community, they all come to this building, this agency, where they go, okay, 911, this is the problem. What business can we come to sponsor this program to help fix this problem? That's what we need. Right. Small businesses and our nonprofits and all of our counselors and social workers, we all need to get together and figure out, okay, here's the resources, or how much money do we need to cover these programs, and figure it out. There needs to be like some central location where there's communication. So that's what I've been finding is my little adventure here with working with nonprofits and homeless shelters, is that there hasn't been a lot of communication. And so, so that's where I have really kind of that's what I've been seeing right now. And so, yeah, that's my lofty big goal and dream. So.
Well, and like we were talking before we went live, is I actually know someone in the Chicagoland area that would be great to connect with. And as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, okay, and then there's others that are in some of the other locations that are looking to do something similar. And I'm thinking, wow, wouldn't it be great? I'm going to put you guys all together, because it's like, okay, we need to start putting like-minded people together. And this is like, I love the image again, the co-op, that co-op idea, cooperative idea.
Yes.
Like, you guys, wink, wink. If you don't understand what co-op, it's all about, let's join hands, let's join arms, let's put some energy into this. to make a difference. And when you have multiple hands, and we've been talking about this in our group, when you have multiple people working together, then it makes it for lighter work, and you can make a true impact. And I love what you're talking about doing there, because it's so incredibly important, and especially on this Mother's Day, keeping Mother's Day in mind, because total disclosure, guys, I am a mom. I'm a nana too. Yes, that's the good stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
The thing I don't talk about it much. However, it's somewhat in our past, and that is, I've actually had situations where we would have been on the books as homeless, and my kids and I, and then we also a couple of times in a couple of my children over the years have been on the books as homeless. So life happens, and I know it happens, and you can be raised in the best of families, or you can be raised in the most challenging of circumstances. However, we are all, if they say, we are all subject to possibly having those learning experiences in our life, and no one is above them. No one. No one. There's no way of being able to say it, because in every which way, looking 30,000 foot level, you would say there's no way. However, that's the case. And so, and I have my chemo buddy for life, Lisa Brandon. May I just say happy Mother's Day. She's the proud dog mother of baby. And she's been posting all day these wonderful images of, it is important for us to remember our pet, our animal moms, and those that love their pets, because they are family. And I know that I've got one of those. His name is Artie. So it would be, great. Yes, I agree. One-stop shop. And she also is a social worker by training. Okay. So, she and she works with some people that some of the demographics that I know that are close to possibly in another area, but, there's so many of us that support and try to educate. And I know she does work on education, and to be able to have it where it works smarter, not harder. How impressive. Yes, it is really, Lisa. Right. Woo.
Right.
So now your background, you kind of hit it, and you talk about it when you were doing your song and stuff for the Impactor video, which everybody, you gotta go watch it. And vote for this amazing Impactor. You talk about it, that you were raised, and you actually went out there today for Mother's Day. You were raised on a farm, right?
Yes, I was raised on a farm. E-I-E-I-O. My parents still live out there. They've been married for over 55 years. Wow, right? They've been through it all. So, the farm is very character building. It teaches you to solve problems, to learn new things, to commune with nature, to listen to nature, respect for animals. It was a beautiful way to grow up, but also kind of isolating at times. But, I have that kind of dual side where I love the country and the city. So.
Right. In the
I live in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull a picture here because you had some of those. I have to say, I've got so many fun pictures, guys. We're definitely doing pictures today. Okay, but I have so many of them in here. I'm trying to find what I want. Hopefully, I grabbed it. Here's one. Okay, so you have the Chicago skyline.
Yeah.
And there's you and Jack, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
My boy.
Jack, your boy, he's 9, right?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
And, Yeah, go ahead.
Going on 17, right? So
Yeah, they do that.
they are. Yeah, we've hit attitude early, but hey, he doesn't get it from his mother. No. Right? So.
Oh yeah, mine didn't get it from me either. Okay, can we claim that? They'd be like, Mom, we're all my life. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. So, all right. So you really have had the best of the worlds. You were raised out on the farm. You have the wide open spaces. You have places where you can actually think. You did a really. I loved it today. You took us on a little field trip on your farm, and we even got to go see the man cave.
The man. I know. I forgot to take you to go see the baby cows. The neighbors, they had 4 sets of twins. Can you believe that? Twins. I was like, yeah. So it's really quite a fun time of year on the farm. All the cows are having babies, and it's just, life everywhere. So
yeah, I love it. And that's what we're going to be talking about, because you were actually, and I love the way you brought us through the scenario. You were walking around, and then you're like, look at these big trees. Now, and I love history. So thank you for the history lessons of the property, because you were saying, now the farmhouse over here originally was built in 1860, right? 1860.
It's close, yeah. It's also
18, somewhere in there. And yet it had add-ons, and then your family went in the 1970s, right? Okay, I think we did a little tour.
Yeah. Yep. No.
Yeah, it's shenanigans. It happens. I'm back. It's Mother's Day, and okay, I had to just say, you guys can think I'm woo-woo if you want, but I film in my mother's casita, and my mom has passed, and sometimes I feel like she's in here doing some shenanigans, and so the electronics sometimes get a little bit of fun. So take it or not. I had a glitch, whatever you want to think. But I like to think the fun way. Life is too short, so I think in fun terms. Yeah. Anyway, so you were talking about how the trees they weren't mature when you guys got there, and yet they're huge. Yeah.
Well, my parents first moved there were only 2 trees on the whole entire property on the 120 acres. My parents planted tons of trees when we got there. And so those little pine trees started from itty bitty little saplings. The government actually at the time was like encouraging people to plant. So I think they got a lot of their trees free at that point. No, it was a time period when the government was actually giving out land grants for people to farm the land. So that's how my parents were able to afford all that. So they're like, well, they were pretty ballsy too. Like, well, you've never been farmers, but we really like the idea of being on a farm, and we're just going to do this, and they kind of learned as they went. And my dad was an engineer, so he could fix stuff. He could fix cars and things, and mowers and tractors, and they kind of just winged it, and
and there you go. So you were talking about, and I have some pictures of tractors. Boy, do I have pictures of tractors. Tractors everywhere. It's like coffee truck. I was thinking,
Yeah, well,
there's Jack and I had to. Okay, so I'm going to show one more, because I just thought this was great. It really, I grew up in East County of San Diego, wink, wink, which I thought it was rural. Oh no! Here you guys have parades of tractors.
Yeah, that's the big Memorial Day parade in Pecatonica, Illinois. It's a 2-hour. Yeah, it's a big deal. They have antique cars and tractors, but that's the part of the small town Americana right there. I mean,
right.
It's. My dad actually refinished the old farmall that we have on the farm. It wasn't the one in the barn today. I don't know where he's hiding the one he just refinished, but it's beautiful. But it's Americana. It's a piece of American history. Right. Our farm, every farm has, I think actually that tractor was on the farm when my parents bought it. So We have our own well. There was a windmill on our farm at one point. You know, there was a family that lived there, had a little cemetery plot. So it's just, yeah, it's Civil War for sure. There's a lot of old schoolhouses in the neighborhood. Yeah, it's Americana. There's a lot of history, and because it hasn't been torn down, and that's the cool part, you know.
I love that. I am truly, I mean, when I say I'm a geek and a history geek, I don't just say it. I have books to back it up. And anytime I've gone anywhere, where do I want to go? I want to go to where the history is. You know, it's like, okay, that's really fun. And if I have time, I'll go there. But I really want to dive in here. And so, and then you were sharing how your farm was dedicated to corn and soybeans, and then, but your next door neighbor farms have the cows, and you guys had pigs for a while, but then, so, you know, and I loved it that you were giving us that history lesson. And so then when you talk about your story and kind of like if you will, the why behind the why in some ways, possibly, you had this idyllic, what many people would say, idyllic farm Americana life. However, there's never anything in life that's ever completely perfect, is there?
No, families are still families. We all have our dysfunctional families. So
I joined that club, a long time ago. So does that play into your mission now? Kind of like your because you were talking about how when you were a kid that and I was thinking, okay, this is really making a lot of sense, who you are as an individual. However, when you were a kid and you talked about the fact that you had these amazing mentors, teachers. You were in the Girl Scout program, which I was too, thank goodness. Wonderful program. Oh, I had to just say happy Mother's Day to Mikey Adam Cohen. I hope you had a wonderful time with your mother. I wish her happy Mother's Day from me, please, dear. So you were on the farm, and part of my mission, and I think a lot of us kind of overlap in that, in some of our areas of specialty, you don't want anybody to feel isolated and alone, because that's when you can lose hope. You can lose sometimes that driving instinct to keep going. And so when you were out on the farm in this idyllic life, yes, there was that idyllic life. However, there were challenges, and you talk about that. Now, does that have something to do with? And we have another one of our dear friends. Okay, I'm sorry. As they come in and they make themselves known. We have Teresa Snyder. I hope you were able to spend some time with your mother, dear, or at least spend some time with her over the phone. Happy Mother's Day to you too, my dear. Or to your dog. She's a mother. She's a dog mother. Okay. So now fast forward, you're in the Chicagoland area. You go to this meeting, and you're at, this, because you're philanthropic. And I think that, I grew up in the East County of San Diego, and our high school, my high school was attached to the 4-H club, so, and we had a nickname, Cow Pie High. If that gives you an idea, wink, wink, what we were, and we had the rodeo queen. That was our claim to fame. Yes, I grew up in San Diego County. Not what you're thinking. Beach Boys, down the road. You had to drive to that area. Right. Yes, a proud dog mom. Yes, you are. And happy Mother's Day. So that there's a community. There's still that old town community, if you will, kind of, I want to say, leave it to Beaver, or, Father knows best, but not necessarily, but that kind of Americana, right? Time,
right,
where people
right.
pull together, and you have a little bit more of, if you even the barn raising idea of the Amish, and that kind of, you pull together as a community, and you even kind of mentioned it in a way now because your parents are retired, and yet they allow the next door neighbor. And you have some of your next door neighbors or neighbors, you said, that are kind of farming some of the property, right?
Right.
And so there's that co-op feel again.
Right.
Co-op, guys. There's a theme in this woman's life. So now, when you started seeing the percentages, which I wrote some of them down, these are percentages that were given, numbers that were given in 2017 and 2018, right, that you were quoting. And in the state, there's over 56,000 kids that are homeless.
Right.
In the state of Illinois. Okay, then you boil it down and you start taking it from there. And I get chills, just like what you were talking about when you were talking about this. You have 18,000 homeless youth in Chicago, reported by the public school system. You have, and only 500 beds in shelters.
Right.
There's not an equal sign here. There's a cattywampus sign going on, right?
Right. Yeah. So obviously, yeah.
You heard this. Did that go back to here? You come from a land where you had a beautiful farmhouse you were raised in.
Right.
So is that what did this? That you were saying?
It's more about me feeling compassion as a mom, and it's more about my role as someone who has always had the purpose of easing suffering.
Oh, yeah.
I suffered as a kid. I don't like to see anyone else suffer. I'm very empathic. I do not like to see other people suffer. I feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very much so, very deeply. So,
and that's one thing I've noticed about you just in our team meetings and such, because sometimes I get, many of us have different things and we can feel different things. And sometimes it's like you get that face and you get that, and then you're a person of action. There's that combination that I see in you. And so, how long have you been doing this? How long is this been? How long ago was the moment?
Well, it wasn't that long ago.
That's okay.
But I mean, as far as like the official moment, but as far as easing suffering, I've been doing that for a long time. It's part of my spiritual path.
Right.
So, ironically, I've been part of my energy work was around healing schools and kids. Really? So yeah.
Okay. So let's go there.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up I'm going to bring at least one image up. I'm going to bring this one first because I love this. You have Creative Spirit Consulting, and you graduated in graphic design, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And I even have your little picture there. Not little picture. I mean, I think I got it. Yeah. I was like, that's a darn good picture, so I grabbed it. And so you graduated. You actually have a degree in graphic design, and you've been able to take your graphic design degree and then mix it together. And I want to make sure I've got this right. With your gifts. Is that correct?
You're correct. Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. Yay. Okay. So why don't you talk about that?
Well, gosh. Yeah. So where do we begin? So there's a lot of gifts that can go with art,
Yes.
A lot of artists were very sensitive people, and with that sensitivity comes a lot of visionary gifts. And in whatever shape or form those come in. For me, being empathic, I have the gift of kind of picking up what kind of feel and look that people need in regards to their marketing. I can anticipate kind of what direction and what branding would best represent them based on their energy, based on their vision. You know, so that's basically kind of the bottom line. I grew up in a family business too, so I inherited some business sense from my mom's side of the family. Just it's a very, just being connected. You know, so it's I don't know. I've always been drawing since I was a little girl. It's kind of how I dealt with my situation at home between music and art. So, you know, yes.
And we do that, don't we? We find ways.
Right.
Now you also did this.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Can I just tell you? Multiple ways.
Yeah.
The winter warmth for homeless teens. This is one of your passion projects, right?
Yeah. So basically, it's from my outreach projects. Ultimately, I combined my forces with my church community. So we wound up raising over $800 for the night ministry. In regards to donations and all that good stuff. So people donated, underwear and toiletries and all kinds of cool things. So, so that was kind of fun. I wanted to put a fun spin on it. I need to figure out something for the summer now that would be fun and groovy. So
yeah, I love that, fun and groovy. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, and I kind of made mention, and I want to just say it is that, I was raised in a very interesting environment where I had a very conservative mom, if you will, and her best friend was her brother. And he was a total out there 60s hippie, flower child. He drove the VW van, no joke. And he was an artist, and, he kind of had the wild Einstein hair thing going on.
Yeah.
And he ends up going to school enough to be working at one of the junior colleges in art. And then he actually went out and had a farm in the mid part of California, where he started doing art revolving around horses and such, because he had horses on the property. And then he had a kiln, and one of the horse stalls he made into a kiln stall instead. He put his stuff in there. And so, talk about a man cave. I was thinking of my uncle back then, when we were talking about it. Because where I was going is that in his art and in his creativity, and then in his outreach to the community, he was able to help so many different people to find their voices, to find their way, to find their path, to be able to, and it took him a while to kind of find that voice within him. And when you were talking earlier, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're I totally get it, because I always saw that my uncle had so many gifts to give so many, and now he has passed. My mom passed of cancer, and within a month he passed, because he just wasn't good. And again, they were like night and day, but they were best friends. And so you just never know. But the thing about it is, when that happened, what happened then was that all these people started talking about how he influenced this, how he didn't necessarily go out there, because when you were talking about being behind the scenes sometimes, but actually getting things done, that's right. I was thinking, I understand that kind of mentality of that artistry and that passion, because he had all of that, and yet he really did affect so many people, and he was from a small community, and many of them came out to say, if it weren't for this would not have happened. If it weren't for that, wouldn't have happened. And so it's like, I am so proud to be a cheerleader for what you're doing, because
Thank you.
I know that truly, when Jeff originally talked to you about entering the next impactor and doing this, that we need. I love the program because we need people that are willing to step up and say, you know what, we can make this world a better place, and we can do it in a positive way. We can have some fun. Right. We can gamify it, if you will, a bit, even though we're waiting for that next Mission Impossible song to come out. It's like, oh, get it. Right. So what you're doing in your mission, Brooke, I just want to say I support you in so many different ways, because I really do see that the youth, and I live in Southern California, guys. The weather is not an issue here so much. We think it is, but I've talked to others that deal with the homeless in Chicago, the adult homeless population. It's brutal there. It's brutal.
Yeah. This winter was brutal. So, we had 2 days of 30 below zero days where you could not be out more than 10 minutes. I went out to move my car. I had myself covered from head to toe, and I got out there and I was like, it was like you had the air sucked out of you, like in a deep freeze. I'm going, who could possibly survive this? Right.
Yeah. And there are children. There are children. Right. Because the 500 beds, let's just clarify that again. The 500 beds, thank you, Mikey, for recognizing it is so important. Absolutely. Now, the 500 beds, are those 500 beds for kids, or are those 500 beds in total?
Oh, I think that was 500 beds as far as availability for youth.
Okay. So do the math. We have 18,500. 18,500. Right. So 17,500 kids. Let's just say, in the best of scenarios, that we're talking those kids were the ones that were picked. 17,500 kids could have possibly been out in that weather, 30 degrees below
zero.
Where you were out there for a few moments to do something with your car, dressed head to toe, which I'm sure they're not, and you felt the effects.
Yeah, I mean, I went out to go start my car because I wanted to make sure it was going to start. You have to go out and start your car just to make sure, you warm it up for a while. I mean, I would turn it on and it would turn on, but then when you start to press the gas pedal, it was not wanting to go. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to sit here and let the engine warm up for a while. So, and your oil was frozen. Your oil was technically frozen. It does not go that low. So there's we have special fluids even in Illinois where they're tested to withstand a certain temperature. So that's how cold it freaking was.
So our cars. Your car's not gonna go. Freeze, and they are chemically designed not to have liquids that will. However, they were saying enough is enough. It's too flipping cold. We're gonna rebel, right?
Right. So the point is, all these kids are then forced to find other ways of survival, whether that's finding a friend to crash on their couch. Some live with, distant family members. Maybe some live with, they do what they have to do to survive. And unfortunately, as we know through the Fusion Project, a lot of those kids wind up in not so suitable environments then. So
Right. And so that's an excellent segue into it, because we are a part of Team Todd. Todd
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah.
How do you say it? He's just so dynamic when we talk to him. It's like, this guy's got power, and he's got stuff going on. And we've got some amazing coaches that are on all the 5 different teams that are heading them up, and we were lucky enough to get Todd Special. It's in his name, and so we're the special Todd team. I think
Yes.
so. Let's go that way. and so we did, as a team, we ended up voting, and we put some projects, because one of our team project right now, those that don't know yet, listen closely, because we're going to educate you on some stuff. We were tasked with, all 10 of us, in putting up a possible nonprofit to be supported by our team. And one of our teammates, Alicia, she put up the Fusion Project. But many of you guys know Michelle, right? Jinx, the founder of the Fusion Project, because they're in the Chicagoland area. However, it is a program that she has designed that it is duplicatable. And I've been asked this question a lot. Will it be coming to a neighborhood near me? And the answer is, if we can get this funded and we can let it start growing like it needs to, yes, school districts want this. They need it. Mm-hmm. It's the only program like this. And so you were starting to make reference to it. Mm-hmm. And that is, why don't you talk about it? Because, they're neighbors with you. And this is a project that is it's become really near and dear to my heart.
Oh, yeah. So, Michelle Jinx runs the Fusion Project. It's an after-school program for middle school girls. And she teaches, essentially, it's to teach these girls self-esteem and self-confidence, and to help them feel empowered about their life. So at that age, in middle school, we all go through these tough emotional challenges of, they become very self-conscious, and, they need role models at that age to really keep them focused, and to really teach them tools about, feeling positive about themselves and their body image and all that good stuff. So, because at that point they start comparing themselves to everybody else. I remember that age. So yeah. So anyways, her program is so important. And as the girls go through the program and proceed into high school, the high schoolers actually teach the middle school girls. So it reinforces leadership skills as well. And that's what, we all need. We need strong women who have leadership skills. So it's such a great program. It's meant to really combat the bullying, anxiety, and depression that's present in our schools right now. Like my niece Kayla has dealt with bullying in her school. It's frustrating, So the girls need a place to talk, both sides, because people who are hurt other people, so they need counseling too. So yeah. And it's an important after-school program. I think every school should have, for both boys and girls, really. So.
And I completely agree and concur. In fact, you were just mentioning how the Fusion Project, and I'll bring up the logo here, the Fusion Project actually, it really does cross over with your mission with the youth, and how, when you made that reference, that some of our youth that are homeless and may not have a safe place to go, they may be desperate, because think about it, guys, if you had 30 degrees below weather that could actually scar your lungs, and you're also, or the choices are that, or possibly a not safe environment, but it's warm, what are you going to do? And if you don't have the skills, or you don't have that self-esteem because you've been beat up, you're on the street, you're taking a bath in the public bathrooms. If you're lucky, maybe you can go to the bathroom at a McDonald's or something and not be shooed away. Most likely it's difficult at best, and at worst, it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fusion Project works on the self-esteem, and their part of it too is that when you don't have that self-esteem, you become a mark for domestic violence or for the bullying or for even
Mm-hmm.
possible sex trafficking, where then these kids are missing and they're gone. And if no one even knows where they
Right.
are, this is problematic. And Michelle worked hard to come up with a program that is something the kids like to do after school, yet is
Mm-hmm.
validated that it is something that will work. And she now has social proof because she's been doing it long enough that it is actually working, that she's been able to ward off. And by educating and being there for some girls, they actually came to her and shared that they realized that they were being marked for possibly being taken. And one of the things when we did that video that's on the GoFundMe page, Michelle had talked about, I never saw it coming.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Can you imagine? I mean,
right.
I've thought about it for my own kids. I thought about it for my grandkids. I've thought about it for my neighbors, for my friends, and it is happening. And you don't see it coming because, if you don't know the tools or you don't have those tools, some of the stories she was telling us, and we won't go into it, but it's eye-opening, right?
Right. Yeah, it's yeah, some of the stories were just kind of like, whoa. Whoa. It's so important for the girls to learn about what signs to look for when it comes to predators of sorts.
Yes.
And even then the parents learn too.
Yes.
Because as parents, it's part of our job to protect our kids, and we need education as well. So the Fusion Project really is an essential part to protecting our kids, I think. I would love to take, her whole program just to learn, what to look out for, because we're here to look after our kids, keep them safe.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's really interesting. You just never know. Today I had a call with when I have adult children and now I have grandchildren, and one of my adult children brought it up to me today that this next school year some of my grandkids need to go into another school because now one of them is starting to be targeted in a bully situation. And you think, okay, yeah, it's like what we talked in the very beginning. You think, oh yeah, this is someone else, this is somewhere else. And the thing that Michelle kept bringing up was that it happens in every zip code.
Yep. Yeah, everywhere. It's in small towns, big cities, everywhere. So it doesn't hide. It's everywhere. And
Exactly.
it's like, how do you deal with it then?
Hi, Lauren, one of our Team Todd members.
Hi, Lauren. And the thing is, these kids need to learn how to deal with these confrontational issues in a healthy manner.
Right.
Yeah, my niece found a way out of it, but it wasn't exactly ideal, but it worked. So.
And that's what I love about the Fusion Project, because it is, think of it this, guys. Think really, let's think about it in a positive light right now, because I don't want to be a downer on this. I want to really share the vision of Michelle, because this is so flippin' exciting. This program, this woman finally, got this thing in regards to this subject, these subjects, that we, by doing something so wonderful as empowering our youth, and in a junior high program that the high school students go and mentor, wink, wink, genius. Can we say genius?
Yes.
Because it's
Yeah.
reinforced. It's teaching leadership skills, and it's teaching coping skills, and it's learning how to be empowered, how to feel good about ourselves. And in doing so, we are going to be building up a new generation that are not victims, that
Right.
know, like, okay, we're kicking that to the curb. It's gone, out of here, no more. I'm not gonna, we've got skills. We got skills, guys. And that is what this program is doing. So, you actually, I brought the t-shirt up because you did this amazing. I love their logo, their image, and there is a story behind it. And we'll be having some representatives from the Fusion Project on here soon to talk about that. But you came up with this awesome t-shirt.
Yeah, there you go. So yes, we will be selling t-shirts for the Fusion Project to raise money for the program. So I highly recommend all of you, buy a t-shirt and proudly support the Fusion Project, because, when you're wearing a Fusion Project t-shirt, you are supporting a girl and a leader for tomorrow. You're supporting our youth. And that's a good thing. It's a positive message to send out there. We're supporting our girls and supporting them to learn how to have healthy, supportive, and loving relationships so they can be those strong women leaders that we need. So that's a cool thing.
And if they have those amazing coping skills, and they have what it is that she's teaching them to have, think about it this way too, that if you know how to deal with stress, and you're not letting that get on your body, like many of us. Okay. Yes, I am a cancer survivor. Now let's just talk about it. Yes. Did I have a little stress? Yes. Did I not know how to kill? Let's just not go. That's another story. But let's look at it in so many different ways. We are empowering, encouraging, and helping this next generation to be healthy in every which way. That is healthy in body, mind, and spirit. That is huge. And then today is Mother's Day. Is it any accident that we're talking about this, guys? Wink, wink. Yes.
Yay.
You are a single mom that has your own business. You're a single mom raising a 9-year-old that thinks he's 17. And you are involved in your community. You are an ex-impactor. You're one of the top 50. You designed this t-shirt. I could go on and on and on. And the thing about it is that you just like, okay, what is needed? And you find a way to do it. And part of this program I see too, I just want to bring it around full circle, is that when we can teach our youth, because one of the things that Brooke talked about in the beginning is she had mentors. She had mentors that helped her. The Girl Scout program, which is an excellent program. She had mentors in her community. And this is taking the best of all of that and then taking it into the modern day, because having an independent program like this that doesn't have to stay within the big box, if you will, of a wonderful program. I love the Girl Scouts. However, they're going to be a little bit more pulled back in some of the things that they can do, where if you have a smaller nonprofit, and I want to sing from the rooftops here because that's my world. I come from the nonprofit world. And I want you guys listen to my words. How many people have said, I donated to this group. However, I know that only a small percentage, if anything, is going to go to the people that need it. However, you do it because you want to impact the world. You want to make a difference. How many of you are sitting there saying, yeah, I've done that. And yeah, I've thought that way. And yeah, that's probably what happened. Here is a chance. Here is a chance for you to take $30 for a t-shirt, $40 for one girl to go to a class, after school class for 1 month, $240 for her to go for a semester, or $480, less than $500 for a girl to go for a full year. And you get to have a logo or your name on a website and write it off as a mark. Let's not even go there. It's not about what you're going to get. It's what you're going to give. We have talked about how important this is. Mm-hmm. Who has a teenager that they know, a girl that they know anywhere in the world, or who has been a teenager, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a program, and I just love it. Lauren's like, buy a few. Yeah, because you know it. Yes, it says Team Todd. That's the team we're on. And that's the team, the way it's worked again. This is a game. It's a challenge. It's a contest. Think of American Idol meets the music thing, meets going out and doing good. What a contest. And, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
yeah.
People will say, why do I want to wear a Team Todd shirt? It's because you're going to be a Team Todd person, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I believe that the T-shirts we're selling for the public don't have the Team Todd, but
I didn't know that. Okay.
No. So they won't have Team Todd. So I don't have to worry about that. They'll have Fusion Project on the front going across. So
all right. There you go.
Change of plans. Strategy.
Scoop. Can we say scoop? Okay.
So,
cool. You know, either way.
Yeah.
Either way, because really, to wear a T-shirt like this, it's cool colors. It's fun. And if you spill something, right? And you're making a difference. I want to talk. I want to bring it around that we have a GoFundMe page, and we will go ahead and put it in the comments here. Thank you, Amy. I love you, Amy. Happy Mother's Day, Amy Morrison, of one of the co-hosts from the Friend Zone. If you don't know it, check it out. It's fun and heartfelt. Yes, so amazing and needed. And yes, you're right. And wink, wink. I know. Yes, I'm sure this is touching your heart, as it is so many others. And so we have a GoFundMe page, and we have a website. And we'll go ahead and we'll put that information in the comments. So as we go full circle, I really want to talk about, did your son make this?
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah, he made that for me today. What a wonderful way to wake up with a cup of coffee and the world's best greeting card, right? So
I love it. You know what? Because do you want to just say a little bit more about your personal, feelings in regards to the fact that the way I see it here is, we as mothers of like you were talking about Mother Earth even today, mm-hmm. it is a program that it's no coincidence, no matter what your beliefs are, that mothers have a heart to give and a heart to heal and a heart to love, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And here we are working. You heard about these young people living on the streets, too many of them, in your backyard, and you felt it in your soul that there could be a better way.
Right.
And then Michelle, she looked around and she didn't see any kind of program that helped help these kids to have empowerment to avoid a lot of these issues. A lot of them on the back end to help take care of whatever they may come out of with all sorts of hurt and issues and scars. However, let's just not let them go there, right?
Right. That's the thing. It takes years to heal that type of stuff. So let's not even let them go there. Let's help them let's help them figure it out first and foremost, so they're not trying to figure it out 40 years later. So, you know.
Right. And so when I saw
So,
this from Jake, I thought how appropriate for today in our subject and
right.
highlighting you as a, I've been a single mom. I know what it's like. I ran my own business as a single mom. I know what it's like. And then for you to take on a community program and then
Mm-hmm.
on top of it, the next impactor. And I am one of your teammates and I know how much time this woman's put in. Let's just say behind the scenes, this woman has done so much more than even her Call of Duty would have been. And I just want to deeply say thank you. I appreciate you. I know what you do. And it's just like it was mentioned this morning in our team meeting. It is not overlooked. However, it's not always visible. And we won't go into more details than that, but you know, you've done so much. And for today, of all days, when we think about the Fusion Project, it provides them more choices. Absolutely, Lauren. One of our
Yeah.
other mothers, happy Mother's
Woohoo!
Day, Lauren from Team
Woohoo!
Todd.
Woohoo!
And I hope you're having a wonderful day, my dear. So as we wrap this all together in a nice little bow on Mother's Day, because we talked about a lot of heavy subjects,
Mm-hmm.
yet I believe in hope.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in change. I believe that people can make an impact. And so do you, right?
Right. Yes. That's why why I do the work that I do. That's why I'm a mom, because I believe in hope. That's why I'm still here. That's why I keep pushing every day, because I want a better world for myself, my son, and for everyone. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And I agree, Lauren. Brooke is a gift. And so are you, Lauren. We've got some
Yeah.
amazing people on our team. And
Yeah.
and I just want to do a shout out to our amazing impacting Team Todd group, because there are people in there that really do have vision and want to make a difference
Mm-hmm.
in the world. And what a genius
Mm-hmm.
program. So as we wrap it all together on Mother's Day, is there anything you'd like to say to your own mom publicly?
She's my biggest supporter. She's been my biggest fan through it all. She still believes in me. They don't try to push me in any other direction than they allow me to be who I am. And that's a big gift. They just welcome me with open arms, saying, you're our daughter and we'll support you. So go for it. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
And
yeah.
did you get rhubarb pie today?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was so good.
Okay, you guys got to go catch her live, because she was talking about how the rhubarb was actually grown on the property, right?
Correct. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is rhubarb season. It's so good. If you like, oh yeah, a good
That
rhubarb pie.
that was my grandfather's favorite. Yeah, from the Dakotas, and so yeah, he loved rhubarb pie. So as we wrap it up, and as we again put it out there that I want to end it on something that you had some sayings and of some of my favorites. And I absolutely cherish this saying, and and the man that said it, and it resonates with me every time that I
Yeah.
start to get a little like and start thinking this is so big. And yet you look
Right.
at him, a man that impacted a generation, a country, the world.
Mm-hmm.
He did it through love and kindness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Pretty
he's a
incredible.
little man with huge impact. So, it's all about what you do. So get out there and do it, everyone. So be kind, right?
Right. Be kind. And Support the Fusion Project. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. You know what? I'm shameless. I'm going to do it.
There you go.
They know that I'm a little strong a personality. Okay. Forgive me, guys. But, you know, the bottom line here is we got to get this done. And for Team Todd, this is all about the team and the team impacting a program that is really working. And we have a deadline. We have a deadline to make a difference and think about if anything has resonated with you that we've talked about, and you can buy a t-shirt, proudly wear it, and say, yes, the Fusion Project, I'm behind it. If you can't afford a t-shirt, but you want to give your coffee money for, you know, do it. We have a GoFundMe page. If you're like all in and you want to have your logo shown, that would sponsor one girl. Let's sponsor more than one. Let's get a whole school going. In fact, there's an amount there. If you want to take and adopt a school, it's only 10% of the cost that they really need. However, they're being very generous and saying, we'll let you kind of be, you know, have the kudos for taking on a school, and that's $2,500. Guys, this is all tax deductible. And
yeah.
And remember what I talked about, that have you ever donated because you felt inspired to, but you didn't, something inside of your gut said, you're not sure that that money will really make a difference, or will it go into someone's pocket? This is going to make a difference. This goes directly to the girls. They are totally accountable. They are totally legal. They are totally, Michelle has even gotten on the phone already with one of my friends out of the Southern California market that's interested in it. So, you know, they are totally, transparent. This is a program that is making a difference. This is a program that actually may save a girl's life. One girl's life. One girl. That's priceless. But we're talking more than one girl. We're talking many girls. And Michelle already proved to us that they have already been able to, if you will, save more than one girl through this program. That's today on Mother's Day. If you have a mother, ever had a mother? My mother has passed. However, in my mother's honor, I think that my mother would have been so behind this. So that's why I'm gung-ho. She would have been like, Tamara, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. We can save people from having cancer because they know how the coping skills. We can save people's lives where they don't get trafficked and then they're missing for the rest of their life. We can just help them not to accept bullying or to become a bullier. Job well done. And wouldn't Gandhi be saying what? Like, and you're not even facing the military and you're having an issue here and making a decision? Come on. Let's do this, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, allow me to be who I am. Yes. You know, I like that. And that's, I want to say that's a multi-layered statement right there, Lauren, who is quite the deep thinker and amazing woman and just an incredible soul. And, for us to be able to help girls to accept who they are and to feel good about it when they look in the mirror and not have that self-talk. We're talking junior high girls, and I don't know any junior high kid, male or female, that didn't feel a little awkward during that period of time. We can help them to get through that, and in doing so, make a difference in the world and have leaders. I'm all there. What do you think? You all there?
Oh, I am all there. Yes. It just takes one thing. If a girl gets at least one class after a Fusion Project session and she hears that one thing, it could be that one thing that saves her life.
Yes.
So that's kind of, everything happens for a reason. So yeah, donate and get those girls to those after school programs, because, like I said, it could be that one moment in time that really redirects her from a not so good path to a much better path. And that in turn affects everything else down the road. So, right?
Just like our dear friend Gandhi there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at his story, and who would have ever thought? He probably never thought he would have been a domino. That domino that just started through peace, a peaceful situation, yet to create change. And so I just want to say thank you for being our honorary Mother's Day service hero today, Brooke. It is such an honor to honor you, highlight you, celebrate you, and in doing so, celebrate what it is that you're doing and what we are doing as a team for the Fusion Project and within the Next Impactor. And if you guys don't know, go vote and vote daily.
Yeah.
And you can vote for more than one person because trust me, I do. I vote for
everybody.
Many. Yeah, because you know so many people are making a good difference, a big, huge, major difference. So, is there anything upon? Because I'm going to close you out in a minute and brag just a little bit more. But before closing, is there anything else you'd like to leave us? A closing thought.
Oh, well, gosh. I think the best quote that I could share today, you know, which one should I pick? Mother Teresa, I guess she would be the one to share today, right?
I love it. Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
So the quote is, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love.
Perfect.
Right? Yeah.
Perfect. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding.
Perfect.
So one small thing everyone can do would be to go over to our GoFundMe page and, you know, donate your coffee change, whatever you have. Because, like I said, it could be just enough to sponsor a girl, to get her to that class, that program that helps her or possibly saves her life. So, you know.
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to do one thing here. I'm going to do this. Our coach, if anybody knows our coach, he's pretty bold. You know what? Our goal is huge. If you go to that GoFundMe page, you're going to say $100,000. What are they thinking? They've got 3 weeks. Yes, we're putting it out there. The intention is we're going to hit that goal. So I know it's all relative. There are some of you that pocket change could be $10,000. There's some of you that pocket change, and I know it. Some of you guys that pocket change could be that $100,000. It is relative. Money is energy. It is about the people. It is not about the amount. So I am going to challenge you. Don't think small. This is not a small subject. As you know, we talked pretty raw today. We're going a little long, but this is important. And it is an important day, and we have an amazing woman that we're highlighting. So don't think small. Coach Todd is like, nope, we're not thinking small. We're thinking big. And you know what? There's companies out there that they will want to do this. And so, you know what? We want to hear from the mom and pops. We want to hear from the corporations. Right. And if you're Target, your Walmart, your Staples, your Michaels, any of these big box type companies or the mid-size, and you've got products that you know would work for the after school. If you are a makeup company and you want to do pretty parties for these girls, if you're a shoe company, think about also many of these girls are going to be those homeless numbers. We have 18,000 of them in this area, and this is where this is starting, and it's duplicatable. So if you're from a school district and you want more information about this program, get a hold of us. If you can do something, not if, you can do something. I know you can. And in honor of that mother that no matter what that story is, but in honor of the fact that you are here alive on this earth, and in honor of your mother, go to our GoFundMe page and donate today. Donate. And then donate again and get your friends to donate. Let's hit that $100,000 and let's blow that number out of the water and go for more. Because you know what? Every single girl's life is priceless. And so is yours. Right?
Right.
Woo-hoo!
Yes. Bring
Okay.
it, everyone. Come on.
Yes,
So,
yes, let's do it. Okay, so as we close day number 248, which I think is a cool number, 248 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. I want to say, Brooke Curran, you are truly an inspirational woman to me. You are a service hero extraordinary. You share that service hero you have inside of you, and you share it in your daily life. You share it with your son, Jake. You share it in your community. You share it through your art. You share it through your spirit and your light. She's a light healer. She talked about it. She has this amazing soul.
Yeah.
And she's there to serve others. This is what it's all about. This is what the next impactor is all about. Are these amazing people that are out there doing big things. Yet, if you look at what Gandhi said or Mother Teresa said, they have big ideas and they're bringing their energy and they're doing it because you know what, they're showing up. And even a small way is a big thing, can create these big things. We've had that witness. We are witnesses to that in history. So thank you for being you. Thank you for joining me this day. And you know what? Happy Mother's Day to you.
Woo-hoo. Happy Mother's Day, Tamara, and everyone out there. And thank you again for having me today. It's been fun. It's been awesome. And yeah.
A few laughs, maybe a few tears, and a lot of, because you know what? We're all out there. We all have a service hero inside of us. And so I am going to, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to be loading that information in there. So count to 100 and then go to the comments and go to the GoFundMe and donate.
Donate.
And
please
share it with your friends and donate. And let's hit the $100,000 mark. Throw that out of the, blow it out of the water and then keep going. All right?
Yeah. Share this with everyone. Share it with everyone.
That's right. Sharing is caring, as some would say. Wink, wink.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day.
And those that are pet mothers, too. Okay.
Yes. Bye. Bye.